Boogie's my favorite cat. Alright, what we get?
Alright, so... Ah, welcome back. I don't know. I'm tired with the old factions. I think I'm gonna try to create a new IRL faction after I turn myself into less of a piece of shit somehow. I think that's kind of a prerequisite for being, I don't know. It's obviously not possible to make a Manchurian candidate over the fucking internet to do this shit for you.
Why not?
I sometimes forget that message and, never mind, I'm getting really retarded. This shit's working. How's that internet working though? Do you need to do that ipconfig release and renew command? That sometimes helps.
I don't know,
I've
been disconnecting a lot recently.
Yeah, Agent Smith honed in on this vent. I can just type the messages out if you're worried about disconnecting.
No, I think it's fine now.
What was I saying again?
I don't know, we're talking about like social responsibility and you know, what steps people should take.
My general disgust with basically every group and faction in the world. I mean, it's not disgust. I just feel like they're all probably gonna fail. And they don't really realize that, and they should. So I just kind of want to make something new. I've been waiting around for it to pop up, but it isn't. So I guess, I don't know, maybe I should try to get the ball rolling somehow. But I think with the veganites, or I should give them a different name, since they wouldn't really be vegan. Let's say there was a group of people who happen to mostly be vegan as a product of their personal belief. And they would go around and give different products their seal of approval based on how they treated their animals, and they would have different scales of, I guess, the seal. So if someone went out and bought cheese with the Trifecta seal of approval, obviously it's not going to be vegan cheese because it has milk, but they would know that the cow is, say, treated like a Kobe beef cow. It wasn't slaughtered, it wasn't milked until pus came out of its udder. It was able to freely roam. Care was taken to monitor it genetically, that kind of crap. It wasn't treated like garbage. It was a happy fucking cow that doesn't die. Then it would get that on the cheap. And I think people would go for that. And if you caught people falsely putting that seal on their products, you would have some zealots likely show up and try to bash that person's head in. That kind of thing. Now, the zealotry would not be a coordinated thing, it would just happen to be a side effect of the mindset of certain members of the organization. I think that is truly essential. And I'll just leave that at that. But there has to be some way of enforcing this standard. These people need to really, really strongly believe this crap. Like, it would really piss me off if I had made an effort to have this label that says these cows are treated well, and then some people just said, oh boy, we can get more money just by slapping the seal of approval on here and paying off the orthogonal trifecta. No fucking way.
Well, yeah, that's how all that
These
stuff
people
works.
can't be greedy at all. So I have to find some way to make, it's tough. It's gonna have to be a good stock of people to start off with. That coming from me of all people too, isn't that? Of all fucking people to start something like that. guess I would call them veganites, or what? Alt-light. What's the alt-light version of veganism?
Vegetarian.
Yeah, but vegetarians don't seem to worry about where their cheese comes from too much. At least not most of the vegetarians I run into. Gotta spin that
They don't
reincarnation in
seem
there
to care where
somehow.
the cheese comes from. That's because they eat cheese. They don't care that the animal didn't die.
I mean, sometimes their udders get milked, like to the point where there's
I know.
pus coming out.
There's other ethical
They're just
issues
in a fucking pot.
with, you know, getting milk and eggs from animals. So there's other suffering involved, but they don't really care about that.
So no, I don't really see vegetarianism. Being a vegetarian shows that there's potential for something more there. They're probably not going to go vegan, but I think they would go for the Trifecta seal of approval version of cheese. But there's no one really pushing that end.
Yeah,
So I
they
guess
might.
you could say veganism is too extreme. Well, not too extreme, but not pragmatic enough. Like, you guys could easily do this stuff, but I just don't see that. For some reason, I don't see that happening from the current crop of vegans.
You might even get some vegans to eat your cheese if they're like, oh, it's like there's no suffering involved.
I would think so.
There are vegans who like have chickens, I guess, and lay it. They're like pet chickens and they eat their eggs. I don't know if I would agree that they're vegans or if they're just, you know. I don't know if there's like a correct label for that. Mish definitely wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think people should obsess over whether they're vegans so much as whether or not the animal suffered, or to what degree it suffered, because, I mean, let's face it, this world's kind of a shithole sometimes. We all suffer a bit. It shouldn't be too much.
I only fought one of these guys before. I had a lot of trouble with them.
I just rented a movie called, like, Blade Runner or something. I'm like halfway through, but my god, it looks... it looks kind of a lot what I thought our future civilization was going for. Would you eat the veganite cheese? Actually, I can't use the term vegan. That would just piss them off. Would you eat trifecta cheese, Tim? Or would it just repulse you, sir?
Mish would dump me, so no.
I think a lot of members of the trifecta wouldn't eat trifecta cheese.
Well, the other thing to consider is that, you know, there are things that I might be for that I might not personally indulge in, like lab farmed meat or whatever, you know?
Yeah, I totally get that.
Like, I don't think I would partake, but I think it's very good.
I'm not going to be shoving trifecta cheese down your throat anytime soon, don't worry. The trifecta sausage,
My
on the
pad is
other
doing
hand.
work. Oh, there he goes.
Got not even a giggle? I guess you didn't play Dragon Age far enough to meet Zevron. I'm gonna go smoke some more or some shit. Just what I'm not supposed to be doing. Why aren't the vegans doing this, do you think? It seems like a good thing to do. I think it would decrease the animal suffering much more than they're doing right now. Seems like a pretty small, very lucky demographic of animals that are being saved by vegans. It doesn't seem to be expanding too much. Think about it.
Actually, I wouldn't agree with that. I think veganism is more popular than ever.
Yeah, but I think their influence could do more. It could scale better with their the number of people that they have.
Oops, that was nice.
Like, I guess the population of vegans is increasing, but the population of fucking burger consumers is probably outpacing that now. And those burger consumers are probably getting fatter than shit and ordering more.
Oh, that's a good golf swing. Well,
I'm not
I
saying
mean,
it's a zero-sum game, and they're not making gain, but there's a lot of contested territory that they don't seem to be contesting within the realm, where the realm of animal suffering is concerned.
well, what I was gonna say is I think
They don't have to necessarily believe in eating cheese to go around and then fund a company that makes cheese and treats the animals well.
what I was going to say was I think meat consumption is down in a lot of developed countries, but it's rapidly increasing in developing countries. I mean, places like India and China are now adopting like the old school like Western diet where they're eating like a lot of McDonald's and they have a lot of these fast food places available now.
Well, I guess that's acceptable.
Because I'm pretty sure veganism is not like on the rise in China.
The only thing that's on the rise in China is the fucking coal plume.
Stop it here for now. Oops.